Hello everyone and welcome back to Mysterious Murmurs. I know many of you use these videos to fall asleep, so before you drift off, I'd love it if you could leave a comment letting me know where you're listening from around the world. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe if you're enjoying this video. Story 1: The Mirror's Whisper. The antique mirror arrived on a rainy afternoon, wrapped in layers of crinkled brown paper and tied with twine. Ava stood at her apartment door, staring at the package the courier had just left. A small note attached to the parcel bore her name in her grandmother's familiar cursive handwriting: "To Ava, with love. Protected as it has protected our family." The rain pattered against the windows as she carefully carried the package inside, her hands trembling slightly. Her grandmother's death was still fresh, and this mirror, so suddenly appearing, felt like a ghostly touch from the past. She set it down on the dining table, gently peeling back the layers of protective wrapping. What emerged was breathtaking. The mirror was taller than she expected, its mahogany frame adorned with carvings of twisting vines and tiny roses, so intricate they seemed to bloom under her gaze. The glass, slightly warped with age, reflected the dim light of her apartment with an uncanny clarity. Ava leaned closer, brushing her fingers over the wood. Her reflection stared back, its eyes tired but curious. Yet something about the mirror felt off. Perhaps it was the way the room seemed just a little darker when seen through its surface, or how the corners of the frame seemed to shift under the light. She shrugged off the unease. It was just a mirror, after all. Underscore 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 underscore. That night, Ava placed the mirror in her bedroom, propped against the wall. It fit perfectly among her eclectic mix of vintage furniture and modern knickknacks. As she brushed her hair before bed, she caught herself admiring the way the mirror's surface seemed to glow softly in the lamplight. But then she noticed something strange. A faint shadow flickered in the mirror behind her. Ava froze, staring into the glass. The shadow was gone, replaced by the stillness of her dimly lit room. She turned around quickly, scanning the corners of the space. Nothing. With a nervous laugh, she shook her head. "Get a grip, Ava," she muttered, setting down the brush. She glanced at the mirror one last time before turning off the light. Underscore 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 underscore. The whispers began 2 days later. It was early morning, and the pale light of dawn filtered through her bedroom curtains. Ava stirred in bed, half asleep, when she heard it, a faint, muffled murmur. It wasn't coming from outside or her phone. No, it was closer, like a voice speaking through a wall. She sat up, her heart pounding. The sound stopped. Her eyes darted around the room before landing on the mirror. Ava approached it slowly, her bare feet cold against the hardwood floor. The glass seemed normal, her reflection staring back with a slightly sleep-rumpled expression. She touched the surface, half expecting it to feel warm or alive. Nothing. underscore 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 underscore. By the third week, Ava had almost convinced herself that the whispers and shadows were figments of her imagination, stress from work, perhaps, or lingering grief over her grandmother. But then the reflection changed. It started subtly. When she brushed her hair at night, her reflection's movements lagged by a fraction of a second. She would raise her hand, and her mirrored self would follow, just a little too late. At first, she thought it was her eyes playing tricks on her. But as the days went on, the delay became more pronounced. One evening, she tested it. Ava stood perfectly still in front of the mirror and raised her hand. Her reflection didn't move. Her breath caught in her throat. She waved her hand, and this time, the reflection mirrored her perfectly. Ava let out a nervous laugh. "I'm losing it," she whispered, stepping back. That night, she dreamed of her grandmother. In the dream, her grandmother was sitting at her old vanity, brushing her hair with deliberate strokes. She turned to Ava, her face pale and drawn. "Don't trust it," her grandmother said. Ava woke with a start, drenched in sweat. Underscore 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 underscore. The next morning, Ava remembered the jewelry box. Her grandmother's note had mentioned protection, and now, with the mirror's strange behavior, Ava felt a pull toward the intricately carved wooden box that had been part of the inheritance. She rummaged through her closet until she found it, tucked away in a corner. Inside, alongside old trinkets and costume jewelry, was an envelope addressed to her. The paper was yellowed, and the handwriting was unmistakably her grandmother's. With trembling fingers, Ava opened the letter. "My dearest Ava, if you're reading this, it means the mirror has found its way to you. I tried to keep it hidden, but it has a will of its own. You must listen carefully. Do not trust what you see in its reflection. It is not just a mirror. It is a doorway, a tether to something that should never be free. Whatever you do, do not listen to its whispers. Do not let it tempt you. And above all, do not let your reflection linger too long. I love you more than words can say. Be strong." Grandma Ava stared at the letter, her chest tightening. The words felt absurd, like the plot of a bad horror movie, but deep down, she couldn't shake the feeling that her grandmother was warning her for a reason. She looked at the mirror. It stood there, silent and still, its polished surface gleaming in the morning light. Underscore 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 underscore. As the weeks passed, Ava tried to avoid the mirror, draping a sheet over it and moving it to a corner of the room. But the whispers grew louder, more insistent, especially at night. "Ava!" Her name was the clearest word among the murmurs, spoken in a voice that was eerily familiar. She told herself it was just her mind playing tricks, but the pull of the mirror became harder to ignore. One night, unable to resist, Ava pulled the sheet off. The mirror's surface shimmered, almost as if it were alive. Her reflection stood there, perfectly mimicking her movements. She leaned in closer, studying her face. And then it smiled. Ava stumbled back, her heart racing. She hadn't smiled, but her reflection had. The whispers grew louder, echoing in her ears. Ava clutched her head, squeezing her eyes shut. Underscore 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 underscore. The final confrontation came on a stormy night. The whispers had become unbearable, and Ava found herself drawn to the mirror as if under a spell. She stood before it, her reflection smiling back at her with a knowing glint in its eyes. "Who are you?" she whispered. Her reflection tilted its head, the smile widening. Slowly, it raised a hand, not to mimic her, but to press against the glass. The surface rippled like water, and Ava felt a cold breeze wash over her. The last thing she saw before the lights went out was her reflection stepping forward, the smile never faltering. Underscore 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 underscore. The next morning, Ava's apartment was quiet. The mirror stood in its usual place, its surface pristine. Inside the mirror, Ava's reflection smiled, watching the empty room with unblinking eyes. Story 2: The Disappearing Neighbor. The moving truck rumbled away, leaving Sam standing in the driveway of his new home. It wasn't much, a modest single-story house on a quiet street, but it was his. After years of saving and sacrifices, Sam finally had a place to call his own. The neighborhood seemed peaceful, with neat lawns and tidy flower beds lining the streets. The house next door, however, was an outlier. Its yard was overgrown with weeds, and the windows were coated in grime. The shutters hung crookedly, and the mailbox leaned at an odd angle, its lid rusted open. Sam glanced at the house as he hauled the last box inside, wondering who lived there. He didn't see any signs of life, no car in the driveway, no lights in the windows. That night, as Sam unpacked boxes in the living room, he heard it for the first time, a faint tapping sound. He paused, listening carefully. The noise came in irregular bursts, faint but insistent. It seemed to be coming from the direction of the neighbor's house. Curious, Sam went to the window and peered out. The house next door was dark, its silhouette barely visible in the moonlight. He couldn't see anyone, but the tapping continued, rhythmic and deliberate. "Probably just the wind," Sam muttered, though he wasn't convinced. Underscore 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 underscore. Underscore 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 the tapping became a nightly occurrence. Each evening, as Sam settled into bed, the sound would start. Tap tap tap. Sometimes it was slow and deliberate, other times rapid and frantic. It always seemed to come from the same spot, the upstairs window of the neighbor's house. Sam's curiosity grew with each passing night. Who was making the noise? And why? He hadn't seen anyone come or go from the house, and during the day, it looked utterly lifeless. On the fifth night, Sam decided to investigate. Armed with a flashlight, he slipped out of his house and crossed the narrow strip of lawn separating his property from the neighbors. The air was cold and still, the faint scent of damp earth hanging in the air. Up close, the house looked even more decrepit. The paint was peeling, and the front door was slightly ajar, creaking softly in the breeze. Sam hesitated, his heart pounding. "Hello," he called out, shining his flashlight through the doorway. The beam illuminated a dusty hallway, its walls lined with faded wallpaper. No answer. Summoning his courage, Sam stepped inside. Underscore 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 underscore. The interior of the house was worse than he'd expected. Dust coated every surface, and cobwebs draped the corners like forgotten curtains. The air was heavy with the scent of mildew and decay. Sam's footsteps echoed eerily as he moved through the rooms. The living room was empty, save for a tattered armchair and a broken lamp. In the kitchen, dishes sat piled in the sink, their surfaces covered in grime. It was as if the house had been abandoned in a hurry, its occupants never returning. Sam climbed the creaking staircase to the second floor, his flashlight casting long shadows on the walls. At the top of the stairs, he found a single closed door. The tapping sound had stopped, but Sam's curiosity compelled him to push the door open. The room beyond was empty. A single window faced Sam, its glass cracked and grimy. The floorboards were bare, and a thin layer of dust covered everything. Sam frowned. There was no sign of anyone, or anything, that could have made the tapping sound. Feeling unsettled, he turned and made his way back downstairs. Underscore 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 underscore. The next day, Sam decided to ask the neighbors about the house. At first, the older woman across the street seemed hesitant to talk. "That place has been empty for years," she said finally, lowering her voice as if afraid of being overheard. "The man who used to live there disappeared a long time ago. Nobody knows what happened to him." "What was he like?" Sam asked. Kept to himself, the woman replied. "People said he was strange. Always up late, pacing back and forth. Sometimes we'd hear noises coming from the house, but he never bothered anyone. Then, one day, he was just gone." Sam felt a chill run down his spine. That night, as he lay in bed, the tapping started again. This time, it was louder, more insistent. Tap, tap, tap. Sam sat up, his heart pounding. The sound wasn't coming from the neighbor's house anymore. It was coming from his own window. He got up slowly, his breath shallow, and walked to the window. Pulling back the curtain, he looked out. There, standing just outside the glass, was a man. His face was pale, his eyes dark and hollow. He stared at Sam with an intensity that froze him in place. And then, as Sam blinked, the man was gone. Underscore 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 underscore. The next morning, Sam found muddy footprints leading from his yard to the front door of his house. The prints stopped abruptly at the threshold, as if the man had vanished into thin air. Determined to get to the bottom of the mystery, Sam returned to the abandoned house that afternoon. He searched every room, every corner, but found nothing. That night, the tapping grew louder. It echoed through the house, relentless and haunting. Sam tried to ignore it, burying his head under his pillow, but it was no use. When he finally got up to check, the man was there again. But this time, he wasn't outside. He was standing in the corner of Sam's bedroom, staring at him with that same hollow-eyed gaze. Story 3: The Forgotten Town. The road was a ribbon of cracked asphalt winding through dense forests, the fading summer light casting long shadows over the trees. 5 friends sat in a battered van, the hum of the engine and the crackle of a static-filled radio the only sounds as they drove deeper into the unknown. This wasn't their original plan. The group, Sarah, Jake, Emma, Luis, and Clara, had been on a road trip, exploring roadside attractions in quirky small towns. But when Emma's phone died and the GPS on Jake's refused to load, they found themselves wandering down a narrow road they didn't remember turning onto. "This is so creepy," Clara muttered, glancing out the window. The trees loomed over them, their gnarled branches reaching like skeletal fingers. "We'll turn around if we don't find anything soon," Jake said, gripping the wheel. He didn't want to admit it, but he felt uneasy too. "Wait!" Emma exclaimed, pointing ahead. "There's something up there." As the van rounded a bend, the forest opened to reveal a small town nestled in a valley. The buildings were quaint, their facades weathered but charming, like something out of a postcard from the 1950s. A faded sign at the edge of town read, "Welcome to ASHWOOD population 1248." "Finally," Sarah said with relief. "Let's stop and ask for directions." Jake nodded, steering the van onto the main street. But as they drove deeper into town, a strange unease settled over the group. The streets were empty. Not just quiet, silent. Underscore 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 underscore. The van rolled to a stop in the center of town. Jake killed the engine, and the group climbed out, the sound of their footsteps echoing in the unnatural stillness. "This place is weird," Luis said, his voice low. He pointed to a diner on the corner, its neon sign flickering. Through the windows, they could see plates of food on the tables, as if the diners had just stepped away. "I don't see anyone," Emma said, peering down the street. "Not a single person." "Maybe they're inside," Sarah suggested. "Or it's some kind of holiday." Clara frowned. "Doesn't it feel like they left in a hurry? Look, those bikes over there are just lying on the ground." Sure enough, 2 bicycles lay abandoned on the sidewalk, their wheels tilted at odd angles. "We should check it out," Jake said, trying to sound braver than he felt. Underscore 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 underscore. They split into pairs to explore, agreeing to meet back in an hour. Jake and Sarah headed toward the diner, while Emma, Louise, and Clara decided to check the nearby houses. Inside the diner, the air was stale, heavy with the scent of grease and old coffee. The jukebox in the corner stood silent, its lights dark. Plates of half-eaten meals sat on tables, forks poised mid-bite as if someone had been interrupted. A newspaper lay open on the counter, its date 2 decades old. "This doesn't make sense," Sarah whispered. "It's like time stopped." Jake picked up a cup from the counter. The coffee inside was cold, a film forming on the surface. But why would everyone leave so suddenly? Underscore 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 underscore. Meanwhile, Emma pushed open the door of the nearest house, her friends following close behind. The house was fully furnished, its living room filled with cozy furniture and family photos. A pair of slippers sat by the armchair, and a TV remote lay on the coffee table. On the dining table, a board game was set up, as if mid-play. "This is freaking me out," Clara said, her voice trembling. Louise wandered into the kitchen, where dishes were piled in the sink. A pot of something long-rotted sat on the stove, its lid askew. He opened the fridge out of morbid curiosity and recoiled at the stench. "Guys, this place hasn't been lived in for years," he said. "But everything looks like they just left." "Look at this," Emma called from the hallway. She was holding a framed photo of a family, a mother, father, and 2 kids. They smiled brightly, but something about their eyes sent a shiver down her spine. Underscore 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 underscore. In the second house they explored, Emma found the diary. It was on the bedside table, its leather cover cracked with age. Flipping through the pages, she saw it belonged to a teenager named Violet. The entries were mundane at first, complaints about school, notes about a crush, but then they grew stranger. July 17th. Mom says we have to stay inside. She won't say why. July 20th. I heard it again. That sound from the woods. It's getting closer. July 22nd. I saw something in the street last night. It was tall and thin, and it didn't move right. Mom says it's just my imagination. The final entry made Emma's blood run cold. July 25th. Whatever you do, don't look back. By the time the group reconvened, the sun was beginning to set. Jake and Sarah shared their findings from the diner, while Emma showed them the diary. Don't look back? Sarah repeated. What does that mean? Maybe it's just a teenager being dramatic, Jake said, though his voice lacked conviction. But why did everyone leave? Luis asked. And why does it feel like they left all at once? They didn't have an answer. Underscore 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 underscore. As night fell, the group decided to leave Ashwood. They piled back into the van, tension thick in the air. Jake started the engine, the headlights cutting through the gathering darkness. As they drove out of town, the eerie silence pressed in on them. The houses seemed to watch them, their dark windows like empty eyes. Suddenly, Clara screamed. Stop the car! Jake slammed on the brakes, and the van skidded to a halt. What? What is it? Clara pointed out the window. In the rearview mirror, Jake saw it too, a tall, thin figure standing in the middle of the road, its body unnaturally contorted. Drive, Emma whispered, her voice shaking. Just go. Jake floored the gas pedal, and the van sped down the road. Underscore 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 underscore. As they reached the edge of the town, Luis made the mistake of glancing back. His scream pierced the night, sharp and guttural. Luis! Clara shouted, turning to look. But the seat where Luis had been was empty. The van screeched to a stop, and everyone scrambled out, searching frantically. Luis! Emma called, her voice breaking. There was no trace of him. Back in the town, the lights in the houses began to flicker on, one by one. Get in the car! Jake yelled, and they did, speeding away into the night. But even as they left Ashwood behind, the sound of Luis's scream echoed in their minds. Underscore 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 underscore. The town was never found again, though the memory of it, and the disappearance of Luis, haunted them forever. Story 4, The Library of Whispers. Ella pushed open the heavy oak door of her new home, a sprawling Victorian house she had purchased on a whim. The real estate agent had called it a fixer-upper, and Ella had relished the challenge. She had always been drawn to things with history, their past lives etched into the walls and floors. The house had a distinct charm, tall ceilings, intricate crown molding, and stained glass windows that painted the rooms with shifting rainbows. but it was the basement that truly intrigued her. During the final walkthrough, the agent had mentioned the basement in passing, describing it as unremarkable. Ella hadn't bothered to investigate then. Now, she descended the creaky stairs, her flashlight beam cutting through the musty darkness. The air was thick with the scent of earth and age. Boxes were piled haphazardly against the walls, their contents spilling out in dusty heaps. But what caught her attention was the door at the far end of the basement. It was smaller than the others, made of dark wood, and bore a brass plaque engraved with ornate designs. "Strange," Ella muttered. The door wasn't on the blueprint she'd studied. Curiosity prickling, she pushed it open. Underscore 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 underscore. The room beyond took her breath away. It was a library. Shelves stretched from floor to ceiling, packed with leather-bound books of every size and color. A single chandelier hung from the ceiling, its crystals catching the light from her flashlight. Despite the basement's damp chill, the air in the library felt warm and dry, almost inviting. Ella ran her fingers along the spines of the books, marveling at their craftsmanship. None of them had titles on the covers, only strange symbols embossed in gold. She pulled one book from the shelf at random and opened it. The pages were filled with neat, spidery handwriting. At first, the words didn't make sense, a jumble of disjointed phrases and cryptic references. But as she read on, her confusion turned to unease. The entry on the page described a woman buying a Victorian house, uncovering a hidden library, and opening a book. Ella froze. The description was too specific to dismiss as coincidence. Her hands trembled as she flipped to the next page. The entry detailed a fire breaking out in the woman's kitchen. Underscore 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 underscore. Shaking her head, Ella snapped the book shut and put it back on the shelf. "It's just a story," she told herself, her voice echoing in the stillness. A creepy coincidence. Still, the entry gnawed her thoughts as she went about unpacking. Later that evening, she decided to cook dinner. She had just turned on the stove when the fire alarm blared. Startled, she turned to see flames licking up the curtains by the window. Panic surged through her. She grabbed a dish rag and smothered the fire, her heart pounding. When the flames were out, Ella stood in the smoky kitchen, her mind racing. The fire had started exactly as the book had described. Underscore 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 underscore. The next morning, Ella returned to the library, her unease outweighing her fear. She selected a different book, hoping the first had been an anomaly. This one described a man knocking on her door, claiming to be a neighbor, but warned her not to trust him. Ella scoffed, closing the book. "This is ridiculous," she muttered. Later that afternoon, there was a knock at the door. Ella hesitated before opening it. A man stood on her porch, dressed casually, with a friendly smile. "Hi, I'm Matt," he said, extending a hand. "I live down the street. Thought I'd stop by and welcome you to the neighborhood." Her pulse quickened. The warning from the book flashed in her mind. "Thanks," she said cautiously, keeping the door partially closed. "Need any help settling in?" he asked. "No, I'm fine. But thanks for the offer." The man's smile faltered, just slightly. "All right. Well, let me know if you need anything." Ella watched him walk away, her gut twisting. Underscore 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 underscore. Over the following days, the library consumed her thoughts. She read more books, each one predicting events with chilling accuracy. A book warned her about a stray dog that would bite her if she approached it. She avoided it, only to hear later that it had attacked someone else. Another book described a storm that would break her bedroom window. She covered it with plywood just in time. But the entries weren't just about external events. They began to delve into her thoughts and emotions. One book predicted an argument she would have with her sister, down to the exact words they would say. It felt as though the library knew her better than she knew herself. One evening, Ella found a book that was different from the others. Its cover was jet black, with no symbols or markings. When she opened it, her name was written on the first page. Her hands shook as she turned the page. The first entry was dated the day she had moved into the house. It described her discovery of the library, the fire in her kitchen, and the visit from Matt. The next entry was dated for that night. It read, "Whatever you do, don't close this book, or it will find you." Ella's heart thundered in her chest. "What does that mean?" she whispered. Panic clawed at her. Ignoring the warning, she slammed the book shut and threw it back on the shelf. That night, Ella couldn't sleep. The warning replayed in her mind, its ominous tone growing louder with each repetition. At 3 a.m., she woke with a start. The air in her room was icy cold. Her eyes adjusted to the darkness, and she saw it, a figure cloaked in shadows standing at the foot of her bed. It held the black book in its hands. The figure tilted its head, as if studying her. Then, slowly, it opened the book. Story 5, The Silent Forest. The cabin was old, nestled deep in the mountains, surrounded by towering trees that seemed to stretch endlessly toward the sky. Liam hated it. To him, it was nothing more than a creaky, musty reminder of his family's strange traditions. His parents called it a retreat, a place to disconnect from the chaos of modern life, but Liam just saw it as isolation. His younger sister, Emma, on the other hand, loved it. She spent her days chasing butterflies in the meadows, collecting pine cones, and watching the way the sunlight filtered through the leaves. "You're always so grumpy," she teased one afternoon as they sat on the porch. "It's not that bad here, Liam. You just need to give it a chance." Liam rolled his eyes. "I'd rather be anywhere else. This place is boring." Emma stuck her tongue out and ran down the steps, twirling in the grass. "You're boring." The forest that surrounded the cabin was massive and dark, the kind of place that seemed alive. It was beautiful in the daylight, with shafts of sunlight breaking through the canopy, but when the sun dipped below the horizon, it transformed. The trees cast long, spindly shadows, and the forest floor was a patchwork of eerie silence and unsettling sounds. For as long as Liam could remember, their parents had one strict rule: never go into the forest. Why not? Liam had asked once when he was younger. Because the forest remembers, his father had said, his voice low and serious. It holds on to things, memories, sounds, voices. And sometimes, it gives them back, but not in the way you'd expect. At the time, Liam had dismissed it as one of his dad's spooky bedtime stories meant to keep them from wandering too far. But the older he got, the more he noticed the tension in his parents' voices when they talked about the forest. One morning, while their parents were out running errands in town, Emma decided to play near the edge of the woods. Liam had his headphones on, scrolling through his phone, oblivious to her movements. When he finally looked up, she was gone. "Emma," he called, stepping off the porch. "Where are you?" Silence. Liam's chest tightened as he scanned the meadow. Maybe she'd gone to the back of the cabin, or inside without him noticing. He checked both places. Nothing. "Emma!" he yelled, his voice echoing. Then he heard it, a faint voice, carried on the breeze. "Liam! Help!" It was Emma. His heart leapt, but the sound was coming from the forest. Liam froze, his father's warning ringing in his ears. But the panic in Emma's voice overpowered his fear. "I'm coming," he shouted, sprinting toward the trees. The forest was darker than he expected, the towering trees blocking out much of the midday light. The air was cooler here, heavy with the scent of damp earth and moss. "Emma," he called again, his voice trembling. "Over here," came the reply, but it sounded strange. It was her voice, but it was slightly off, as though someone were trying to imitate her. The tone was too even, too measured, lacking the usual warmth and inflection of his sister's speech. Underscore 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 underscore. He pushed deeper into the woods, brushing past ferns and stepping over gnarled roots. The further he went, the quieter it became. The usual sounds of the forest, birds chirping, leaves rustling, were absent. The silence was suffocating, broken only by Emma's voice calling to him. "Liam, hurry!" It was louder now, closer. But when he called back, she didn't answer immediately. Instead, there was a long pause before her voice echoed again, as though the forest itself were thinking about how to respond. "Liam, over here." The words sent a shiver down his spine. Underscore 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 underscore. After what felt like an eternity, he spotted her. Emma was standing in a small clearing, her back to him. Her red jacket was unmistakable, the bright color a stark contrast against the greens and browns of the forest. Relief flooded through him. "Emma!" he cried, running toward her. She didn't move. "Hey, are you okay?" he asked, reaching out to touch her shoulder. As soon as his fingers brushed the fabric, Emma collapsed. But instead of a body, there was nothing but a pile of leaves, twigs, and moss. Liam stumbled back, his breath coming in short, panicked gasps. Underscore 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 underscore. Behind him, a voice whispered, "You found me."
If you've enjoyed this journey into the unknown, don't forget to like the video and share your thoughts in the comments below. Have a tale of your own or a legend you'd like us to explore? Let us know. You might just hear it next. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss a story. Because here, the darkness is always waiting just for you.